YouTubers, Mike Martin's here. Mike Martin's channel, bringing another housing discussion video. This is a really good one. Hot off the press, posted 3 hours ago, July 3rd, 2018, CBC News. Housing affordability at crisis level in Canada's most expensive market, says economist. How did he find this thing out? How did he find out? This is phenomenal. This is front page news here, guys. I don't even know how this is phenomenal. Cost of buying a home in Vancouver has reached its highest levels on record in first quarter. It's got quite a few comments on it too. Housing affordability in Canada's most expensive market, Vancouver, is at crisis levels. I think it was like that 10 years ago, but that's okay. According to a new study, which shows... a new study! Someone's reading something. Which says the re-acceleration of home prices, along with higher interest rates, slamming ownership costs again. Well, that's the price you pay to live in the best place on the world, right? The cost of buying a home in Vancouver reached its highest levels on record in the first quarter of this year, according to RBC Housing Affordability Measures study released on Tuesday. Vancouver residents would need nearly 88% of their household income to buy a home, while Toronto residents more than 70% of their income to cover the cost, study says. And you know what that is? That's paying back the bank. That's interest paying back the bank. That's how much you have to give back. Oh, I'm a big city. I make 100 grand a year. Oh, yeah. 50 grand goes to your leader. And then 50 grand goes to your pocket. And yeah, food doesn't come from heaven anymore. So you got to find a way to pay for that, because that ain't cheap. And so ain't gasoline. And so ain't the cost of anything you do nowadays. There's a price to pay. That compares to the Canadian average of 48% of household incomes, less than 44% in other major cities like Montreal and Calgary. Affordability is a major issue in two of Canada's largest markets. It is at crisis levels in Vancouver and it poses tremendous challenge for many Toronto area buyers, despite improving the past 2 quarters, said Robert Hogue, senior economist, RBE Economist Research, on the report. The number one issue is really supply, and nobody's dealing with it. The fact is getting worse. Open up the green belt in Ontario. Take all that green land, build more. Why don't they factor in the empty homes in Vancouver and Toronto? Was it 98,000 empty units in Toronto and 56,000 in BC? Okay, you want to supply as an issue? I don't think so. Because they apply from coast to coast, higher rates pressured affordability in all markets across Canada. In Vancouver, through the reacceleration of home prices in the past 3 quarters amplified the effect, he added. Those factors return affordability to sharply deteriorating track after a short period of reprieve in the late 2016, early 2017. Remember? Foreign buyer's tax. Despite a series of measures introduced by regulators and the government over the past 2 years in an attempt to rein property prices in Vancouver, the benchmark price for a home in Greater Vancouver rose to a record of $1,094,000 large. 1.1 million basically. In May, even sales fell 35% from the year ago, according to Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver. Meanwhile, the Bank of Canada raised interest rates 3 times since July last year, and it's widely expected to raise rates again. And its policy meeting next Wednesday. Remember, guys, 11th, they're raising rates again. So this supply and demand thing needs to get off the table. Because you got X amount of empty units, multiply the empty units by 3 people per average, and that's how many people are displaced. He said even in a recession, which will slow home price appreciation, is more buying opportunity rather than an event that could change the track of these markets. Who's going to buy a house for $1 million? An average home. People watching this in the States are wondering, Mike, these are like huge. No, these are like tear down Mickey Mouse crack foundations, need a 300 grand worth of repair homes. No land. It's not a plantation or anything nice. The long-term issue is supply. We have to release land much more quickly. That's bull. We have to make it much easier for builders to build in terms of red tape. We have released more land in the greenfields, Tal said. He added that there are many other things that can be done, such as creating rental solution for housing. Rental solution, empty homes. Do the math. Purpose-built apartments and buildings solely designed for renters opposed to condominiums, which could be owned or rented out. The average monthly rents in Toronto grew almost 11% in the first quarter from a year ago, 2,206 according to real estate consulting from Urban Nation. But you know what? Mass exodus, Toronto. I was there a few weeks ago. Every young person has moved out of the major city to St. Catharines, to Hamilton, to what was that place? Cambridge, Ontario. Lots of young families leaving the big cities. You know why? Because it ain't worth it. And listening to this mumbo jumbo, massaging the numbers, making people feel that it's all normal when it's not. This is what's happening on the whole entire west coast of the United States. There's a huge migration, mass exodus out of California, Washington State, and now, Oregon State, moving east to Montana, Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona. And it's happening. So start looking at the empty units and start getting them rented out, or start charging, like Vancouver's doing for vacancy homes. Start charging an empty home tax like Paris is doing, 60%. Look it up. Paris charging for empty vacant units. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Thanks for watching.